So you want to get started with home renovations and adding value into your properties. Well, what kind of tools do you need? Well, stick around. I'll be going into exactly what you should need for your basic set of tools when renovating. Hi, I'm Emmanuel. Welcome to If I Can, You Can, the channel where if I can do it, you can do it too. Now we go over real estate investing and home renovation. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are. I always love to hear them. But today we'll be going over the tools you'll need to just get into basic home renovations. Number one is a tape measure. Now you're going to want something that's sturdy and flexible and has a locking mechanism. You don't need to go crazy with these. You'll need these for dimensions and cutting any lumber or supplies you would need. This also helps when you're looking at real estate, because if you go into a house with a bedroom and it has a very small bedroom in there, you want to measure it out and make sure that actual queen size or king size beds can fit into that bedroom. I have walked into some properties and some garages where it looks like it's a 2-car garage. When you measure it out, there is no way that 2 cars could actually fit in there. The same thing with bedrooms. It's barely the minimum, if not under. And if you try to put a bed in there, there's no way it could possibly fit. It really helps to have a tape measure when you're out doing jobs or around the house. Number 2 is a hammer. It's good for either driving nails or doing light demolition. You may want to stick with something that's like a 16-ounce hammer that has a claw on the back of it. That way you can pry up nails and you can use it to hammer down whatever you need. This is very versatile and suitable for most tasks. You'll need this when you're doing projects around the house. Then you'll need a set of screwdrivers. You'll need both a flathead and a Phillips head screwdriver to undo whatever you need. If you go in there and you have hardware on a door, a screwdriver is going to help pull off those hinges and put on new ones. This is a very, very simple task, and new hinges and door handles can look amazing when they're put on a house. Then there's pliers. If you need to grip something or twist it or pull something out, pliers are the tool you're going to go to for doing just that. They come in different types, but the 2 I recommend you getting is either a needle nose one because it has a cutting feature on it, or an adjustable one, which is also like a channel lock type of pliers, which is really versatile on different sizes of whatever you need. And then there's a utility knife. Make sure you get one that's retractable. It's just a little bit safer, but you'll use this all the time if you have to cut carpet to remove it or cut drywall. You're going to be using this for a lot of functions around the house if you gotta cut something. Then you're going to have a level. You want to get something like a 24-inch one that should be used for most applications, very versatile for what you need, and probably handle most of what you have in home projects. But this is going to make sure that everything is straight on your house and it looks just right. You don't want to take the time and cut all this stuff and put something on the wall and then you look at it and everyone sees that as cockeyed. It just doesn't look very professional. So spend some money on a level. It doesn't have to be anything crazy though. Next is going to be wrenches. You'll want a set of adjustable ones and then maybe some combination wrenches so you can take off some bolts or put some on. These will come in handy around the house. And these are used for loosening or tightening nuts and bolts. Now the fun stuff, power tools. You're going to want a cordless drill and driver. What you're going to use this for is for drilling holes out or driving screws or fasteners into whatever you're working on. You're going to want one with adjustable speed and torque setting. That way you don't strip the heads off of certain screws and you're able to slow down or speed up what you need so you don't cause any damage to whatever you're working on. Circular saws are also something you should look at. Maybe like something like a 7 1/4 inch one. You want something that will cut the lumber or the trim, whatever you're working on. A circular saw will do you good. Jigsaws are also handy. What they do is they cut irregular shapes and curves. That way you're not trying to do it with a long flat blade like you would with a circular saw. They're very handy and make it look more professional when you try to make final cuts. Then there's an orbital sander. You're going to want these so it finishes out a lot better whatever you're working on, whether it's drywall or wood. It just looks way better when you do it with a sander than when you do it by hand. It's going to save your hand and yourself a lot of pain. I've tried to hand sand a lot of things in my life. As soon as I got an orbital sander, I have wore that thing out. When you're working on drywall and you're putting up whatever you need to, and you need to go for a nice smooth finish, get an orbital sander. It'll save you a ton of effort. Next is a reciprocal saw, also known as a sawzall. You're gonna want this to cut through some material when you need it, like metal or PVC or conduit. You're gonna want this tool to cut through it. It's a lot easier than a lot of other methods, and it's very quick too. Specialty tools. Get a good stud finder. You're gonna be pulling your hair out if you try to go and put something into a stud and you can't find out where it is, and you have a bunch of holes trying to find a stud down the wall. It's gonna save you a lot of time. Spend a little bit more money on this one to get a good one, because I've had a ton of problems with stud finders in the past and it's caused me a lot of headache. There's a pipe wrench. If you have pipes that you need to loosen or take off somewhere, you want to get an adjustable one so you can get on that and get some leverage to get whatever pipe it is off. I haven't used this one too often, but when you need it, it is invaluable. A caulking gun, very, very valuable. When you laid out trim and you need to get caulking in there to make sure it's a smooth transition from the trim to the wall, around the window, or to seal up something, to make sure no water gets in or insects get in, this one is a go-to. For specialty items, it's a must-have. Now if you get one, I highly recommend you get one with a smooth action, and you'll typically have one that has like a very long thin metal piece on it. That way you can puncture the sealant when you're using it, and the handle should have a little cutting mechanism in it. That way you're not running around trying to find a long nail or trying to find pliers to cut off the little end of your caulking that you're trying to put around. That's what I recommend. Don't go super cheap on this. Get one that has those two things, because it causes a nightmare when you don't have those on the caulking gun. Safety equipment. You want to get into this and you want to make sure you protect yourself. You only have two eyes. If you lose one of them, it's not growing back. Take care of yourself. Get some eye protection. Make sure it's something that's safety rated in case something goes into your eye. It is very dangerous when you're doing projects around the house. Make sure you're wearing that. The same thing for your hearing. When you lose a level of hearing, it doesn't come back. Make sure you're using ear protection and you're wearing it correctly too. Now, to also make sure that you can work longer and you're not hurting yourself, find a good pair of work gloves too. If you're working on something that's causing a lot of dust to come up in the air, get an appropriate dust mask or a respirator with the appropriate filters too. You only have one body, make sure you take care of it so you can keep on doing what you need to do. The last two things are kind of organization and illumination. You're gonna wanna find a good toolbox or tool pouch so you can carry your stuff to your job. You don't wanna bring everything in hand carry. You're just gonna be making a ton of trips back and forth from wherever you're storing your tools at. So find a good tool bag and a good toolbox to store your tools in. The other thing too is illumination. It's gonna get dark. If you need to shut off power to see what you need to, get a nice headlamp that's probably LED and rechargeable is probably the best one you want. Make sure you can see what you're working on. It is absolutely infuriating working on something in the dark because you can't see what is going on, and it's also very dangerous. Don't do it. But that is my list of tools you'll need when you're getting into basic renovations and doing work on properties. Now, if you like this list, please let me know in the comments below. If you want to hear my second tier of more advanced tooling you should get, just let me know about it. I'm more than happy to make that list. But right now, that's all I have, and I'll see you in the next one.